Let's get started. I promise you, this is fun. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, She's French, and if you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you don't know, my name is Jenna. I'm a French girl based out of California, and I make videos about curating your life French girl style. So if you're not yet subscribed, I would love to invite you to subscribe, and if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram is @shesfrench, so just like this channel. So today's video has been a long time coming. If you're new to the channel, I have a very small minimalist closet of about 20 pieces. The amount in my closet does change. I don't hold myself to a very strict number. I don't go in there counting every day like, okay, I have 20, this is right. I like to stay at a very small amount, but it's more about curating my closet than having a tiny amount. I love fashion. I love experimenting with fashion. I love trying new things. So when I tell you I have 20 pieces, it's pieces that I'm in love with and that I can build a lot of outfits with. It's not just for the sake of having a little bit of clothing. So I figured it would be helpful to share with you guys how I go about decluttering, pretty much the process that I followed, because this took me years to get to where I am at today with my closet, having a really small closet. By the way, I don't feel like I sacrifice on style. I love my closet, so I think it's really worth sharing. When I say I'm a minimalist, I apply this to everything in my life. So I'm going to be showing you the closet today, but you can take this process and use it on anything. You can go in your bathroom and declutter with it. You can do the same in your kitchen. It's such a good process, and the more you do it, because it is a process, it's not something that you're going to do overnight and feel like complete, like, okay, perfect, I have the perfect minimalist household. It takes time, and we'll talk about all of that in the video too. But anyway, as you follow this process and revisit it and do it a few times, you'll start to get really used to it. It'll kind of change your frame of mind going about decluttering and what you own in your house. And then next thing you know, you'll kind of just do it without thinking, which is where I'm at right now. I don't have to do this whole process anymore myself because first off, I have very little, but also I kind of know how to think about my purchases, what I have in my house, so I kind of just do it naturally now. So anyway, we are going to pretend to declutter. I'm actually really happy with my closet. I'm not looking to declutter anything right now, but I'm still gonna follow all the steps and pretend and show you how I would go about it if I was looking to declutter. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step, and you guys are gonna get mad at me for this, but I promise you it's really important and it's worth doing. You're going to go in your closet, you're going to grab everything and put them on your bed. You're gonna take basically everything away from where you're normally used to seeing them. For example, you might have everything hung up really nicely. You wanna get rid of that because then you're actually able to look at the pieces one by one a lot more critically rather than just kind of flicking through because it looks nice. So take everything, put them on your bed, and you guys, trust me, I also didn't want to do this today. I would much rather leave my clothes all hanging up, but for YouTube, because I love you guys, I'm also gonna do it. I'm gonna grab everything, throw them on the bed, and show you the process myself. I can definitely say I'm not excited to put everything away after, but it's worth it. So let's do it. All right, here we go. So here's my first little batch. And as you're doing this, you may have a lot of back and forth from the closet to the bed. You might have a lot of stuff to go through. It's okay. I know that it's annoying. It's probably daunting. It might be even a little bit scary, but this is part of the process. And by the way, when you declutter, you don't have to declutter to get to a closet like mine unless you want to, but this process works if you still want to just refresh, get rid of anything old, maybe rediscover things too. Taking things out is really helpful. I know it's a lot. I know it's probably gonna take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. So here's my first little batch. Let me bring everything out. And you can absolutely include bags and shoes for this. I think that's part of the closet. For the sake of this video, I'm not gonna do socks and underwear, but accessories definitely count, and they're definitely something that you can accumulate too. So I would go through them too at the same time. Why not? Da, da, da. See, empty. All right, so here's my pile. Now let's get started with the next step. So this is the part that is the most significant in your declutter. It's going to be how you organize yourself to declutter. So the piles that I like to follow are yes, maybe, and no. The maybe pile is the most important pile. The reason that the maybe pile is so important is because you want to move through with good momentum. You want to kind of hold up something, yes, I love it, or no, I don't like it. If you hold up something and you're thinking, oh, well, maybe I would wear it for this, well, I actually love it, maybe it has sentimental value, but for whatever reason, you're not sure that it's a definite yes, put it in the maybe. Don't hold on to it, go try it on, blah, blah, blah. You want to move pretty fast with this, so you'll put it in the maybe, and then you'll revisit that piece after. And then in the no, you can see I have a little stack right here. This is for at the end. I then have a discard, a sell, and a donate. This is for the end. You don't need to go through and choose this right away. I think it's easier to move with momentum, like I was saying with the maybe pile. Just put it in no, but then after you can get organized with what you want to do with it. So now you're ready to start to actually go through the pieces. Before you start, there's just a couple things I want to touch on. So the importance of the maybe pile. This is key. As you're going through, you might encounter pieces that maybe cost a lot of money, maybe they're very sentimental, maybe you're just not sure. You hold it up and you're like, ooh, like, I don't know, it's not an exact yes, but I don't want to get rid of it. This is where the maybe pile comes in. As soon as you feel that, just put it in the maybe. You don't need to stop and think too hard about it. Just keep going, like, okay, that's a maybe, put it down. You want to go with what you're sure of. Once you're done doing your first sort through, you'll actually go back through the maybe pile. This makes it that you can then first off reevaluate a little bit better, because this is your second time that you're looking at it, so you can make a little bit of a more critical decision on it. You've become pretty methodical about it. Now you can go through, look at the maybe with a different kind of fresh pair of eyes, and then also you can avoid regret. If instantly you're kind of pushing yourself to decide if it's a no, you might part with things that you loved, and we don't want that. It's not just about having a tiny amount, it's about having what you love. If you have one thing in your no pile, that's fine. You don't have to get rid of everything. It's your stuff. You spent money on it. It made you feel good. If you want to own it, you are welcome to own it. There's no reason to get rid of something that you love. And going off of that, this should make you feel good. It should make you feel organized, like a weight has been lifted. It shouldn't bring you a feeling of stress, panic. It shouldn't make you upset. If it's making you upset, maybe take a step back. You don't have to do this right away, and maybe you don't need to. Maybe you love what you have. There's no reason for you to declutter. If you love it, that's all that matters. You don't have to meet this imaginary standard. It's just for you to feel good. Okay, so let's get started. I promise you, this is fun. Okay, so for the shoes, same thing. Let's pretend. So we'll do these as yes. Maybe we'll do these as a no. These are yes, just got them. Definite yes, and these are maybe. Okay, so you can see my piles behind me. I actually did that in real time. That's how fast you want to go. You'll have seen me drop a lot of pieces in the maybe pile. I didn't sit there and think about them. I'm not sure, putting them in the maybe. It's not the time for you to ponder and try to style them, think of occasions, it's just gonna distract you. So just put them in the maybe pile. You'll go back and revisit. You wanna move really fast. That's what I was trying to show you. So there we go, we have our piles. So now we're gonna move the yeses to the side. We already decided we like the yeses, we wanna keep them. We're gonna look at the no's and the maybes now. All right, so now with your maybe pile, it's the time to try on pieces, decide if you do want to keep them or if you want to part with them. Part of keeping them too can be that maybe you want to give them a trial run. Keep in mind with this that maybe the climate is different. Maybe you're doing this in the summer and you're looking at winter pieces. So of course you don't foresee yourself wearing them right away. Maybe you want to try them again in the winter. That's fine, keep them. You don't want to regret anything, so hold on to them for sure if that's the case. So as we're going through this maybe segment, I just want to say again, I love my closet. I'm not actually parting with anything. I'm just going to show you like pretend scenarios as to what you might encounter while you're doing this. So these were in my maybe pile. These are a good example of something seasonal that you might not be sure about. Of course, right now it's the summer. You're not rushing to style your Ugg boots. So these are something that I would say keep. So for me, I'll put it in my yes pile because that's probably something you want to revisit when it's actually weather appropriate. Then you can decide if they're doing what you want them to do with your closet or if maybe you should part with them. It's okay to do this a couple times. Maybe you're very strict about it. Maybe you're like, all right, every 6 months I'm revisiting my declutters. That's fine. Or you can kind of do them as the feeling strikes. That's where I'm at right now. So I'll kind of just going and be like, this piece isn't doing it for me anymore. So you can do them seasonally, however you want to. These I would keep and revisit in the winter, for example. This is another example from my maybe pile. It's this super simple little black t-shirt. So when I look at this, I'm not instantly like, wow, this is the best t-shirt ever. I love this. I want to wear this every day. But this does serve a purpose in my closet. I actually do wear it very often. It's just, it's not the most exciting because it's just a plain black t-shirt. This is something I would be careful of. Of course, I'm gonna keep this one. Even in my pretend scenario, I would keep this because you wanna have your basics. The last thing you wanna do is go through your whole closet, keep what really excites you, and the next thing you know, you only have outfits for going out. And then what are you wearing to the grocery store? You know what I mean? You wanna make sure you have your basics and your simple outfits so that you can still get dressed every day. That's also why I say that it takes a little bit of time because you also can't get rid of everything. Maybe that t-shirt you do have, maybe you just don't love it anyway. Even though it's a basic, it's not super exciting. Maybe there is something about it that you don't like. I'm super picky with t-shirts. I definitely went through a lot of t-shirts before finding one that I liked. So perhaps you keep it for now, but then you have in mind to replace it. I wouldn't get rid of it right away because then you don't have maybe one of your staple pieces to wear, but it's definitely fine to keep something. And at this point, you kind of remember that it was in your maybe pile. You weren't so sure about it. Maybe you just want to replace it. Maybe that's something that's key to your closet, but you want to try a different version of that piece, for example. So this will go back in the yes. So here's another example of something that you might come across in your maybe pile. So this jacket is one of my absolute favorites, but look, I've worn it so much that the buttons, the color is starting to come off. That really bothers me. I'm all about the details, and I think that's a little detail that's instantly going to kind of ruin your outfit. With having a really small closet, for me, it's really important to do closet maintenance. That's actually a video that I want to make soon. It's showing you my favorite kind of products and items for keeping your closet really nice, especially when you have a small closet. It's really important because it's like this jacket. You go through your stuff so much, you reach for it so much that of course it's more prone to damage. So keep an eye out for that video. I found some like really good gems and products that work really well in keeping your closet nice. So that's coming soon. But anyway, back to this jacket. So for something like this, you would want to decide, is it something I want to fix or is it something I want to part with? For me, having something like this in your clothes is kind of non-negotiable. I don't want to wear that. So it's definitely something I would fix. I don't plan to get rid of this jacket. I love this jacket, so I'm definitely gonna fix it, but maybe it's something you can't fix. At that point, I would personally consider getting rid of it because this is gonna be so extreme, but this is kind of a representation of you. You wanna put your best self out there. Clothes are really powerful, and I think you should play into that. So fix it or get rid of it. For me, of course, I'm not getting rid of anything, but I do plan on fixing this. So now this leads me into the no pile. So let's go through the pieces that I put in there. Okay, so now looking at the no pile, we can expand on these. So we have sell, donate, discard. So these are two that I put in there. For example, I'm so sorry for the dog hair. That's just part of life with the Huskies. But for example, this one, I love it. I don't plan to part with it, but for the video, this is a good example. Maybe let's pretend that I got the wrong size. It doesn't fit me. I love it, but it doesn't fit me. This one I would sell. It's in perfect condition. This one, let's say that the dog hair is a bunch of like pilling. The fabric's not doing so good. Would you sell it, get rid of it, donate it? With anything that is pretty damaged, I wouldn't donate it. You don't want to waste everybody's time. I really like to extend the life of things if possible, but maybe sometimes you just can't. So perhaps that's a discard, for example. And then for donate, I have the Crocs right here. Maybe I just don't love them anymore. This can be wiped off really easily with Crocs. So perhaps these are a donate, for example. All right, so you just went through your maybe pile. You shouldn't have anything left in the maybe. You should have chosen them to be a yes or a no. With your no's, get organized with your next steps, whether you're selling, donating, or discarding. Try to get rid of that pile so you don't just have this pile of stuff sitting. You want to just not create another kind of mess in your house to then have to go through. So be proactive about that. For me, I have a little box in my closet where I keep anything that I'm selling. It's just tucked away in the corner, all nice and neat. And then with your yeses, it's now time to put them all away. I know it's annoying, you just took everything out, now you have to put it back in, but you should feel good, you should feel excited about what you have. You kind of went in and curated your closet. And then one more time, I want to touch on you shouldn't be upset, you should be feeling good, you should be feeling refreshed, relieved. If there's anything that's giving you doubt about getting rid of it or you feel like you would regret, then definitely just keep it, because there's things that you might have an attachment to that are hard to replace. So just keep it, it's okay. You don't have to meet any standard, any rules. This is for you to feel good. And I'm back. I tried to make myself look a bit more presentable. I was pretending, and it definitely took me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and this is a lot of work. So I totally feel you guys if you might be feeling like this is a lot and it's intimidating, but I promise you, as you do this, you'll get more and more comfortable, and I think it's worth it. When I do this, it makes me feel really good. I have a feeling this video was decently long. I tried to be really comprehensive with this because I mentioned in the beginning that I don't really go through those steps anymore because first off, I have so little, but also I'm really used to it, and I kind of changed my overall mindset with this. So now I kind of do it naturally, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't kind of skip over anything that was important. I definitely want to stress that I don't want you guys to experience any regret, anything like that. So please be gentle with yourself when you do this. Like I said, there's no one that you need to impress. You're doing this for you, so it should just be making you feel good. I really hope that you found this video helpful. I would love it if you would subscribe, and if you want to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram is @shesfrench, just like the channel, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!